resisted, and none of our revolutions happened at all.
No, instead, many of our demands have been taken over by the system and used to promote it instead of dismantling it as we hope to do.
Actually, my view of social change in this world, not just in the next, comes partly from my being born and brought up Jewish. A Jew learns very early on that if something is wrong, you have to do something about it, and not wait for it to be righted in the afterlife by some supernatural being. I once saw a Russian beating a serf. It revolted me so much that I wanted to commit murder, like Moses or Judith. Is that race or religion, Sasha?
Well, Christian America's immigration form seems to have no place for religion, only for race, which says something about priorities, doesn't it?
I suppose believing in revolution today is a little bit like believing in God, which I never did believe in, nor any patriarchal authority.
No, just patriarchal.
Still, it did me good to hear that rabbi in San Francisco say,
in spite of all Miss Goldman said against religion, she's the most religious person I know.
I am proud of the contributions Jews have made culturally the world over, though I'm afraid as soon as they get their own state, they'll become just as reactionary as the rest of the world. I'll tell you, you know what hurt me most of all the actions of the religious establishment?
What?
My father was thrown out of his synagogue in Rochester because of what was being said about me.
Well, sure, they felt uncomfortable having Emma Goldman's father in their midst. What else could you expect from good Americans? You had supposedly inspired the assassination of President McKinley by that strange young factory worker named Leon Cholbar, Buffalo, New York, September 6, 1901.
But I never called for the killing of McKinley. In fact, I even publicly offered to nurse him after he was shot.
You were in jail, E.G. How could you nurse him?
It may have looked like just a gesture, but I really meant it. I spoke up for Cholgush against the national outcry for his blood when no one else would. I believe in man and woman and in humankind and in being kind and in being human. And I find it only human to respond to the cry of the oppressed, no matter how that cry may be expressed. Sometimes it may come out of the barrel of a gun. I will not stand and condemn anyone desperately trying to right wrongs from below. Just because he disturbs the status quo. When will America realize that injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere? And when will justice be more than a dream?
There is nothing wrong with Miss Goldman's gospel that I can see, except that she is about 8,000 years ahead of her time.
Yes, that's what William Marion Reedy said about me back in 1908, 25 years ago. He called me the daughter of the dream. But my earliest dream had its roots 2,500 years ago. Not in the Bible, but in the Apocrypha. I could date it to my 8th birthday. It became my life. In that first dream, I cut off the head of the tyrant Holofernes. It falls into my lap, the eyes roll back as white lips twist for one last time and smear the name of Judith. Judith. It was I who lay with the villain to slay him. I swore to avenge thy people, Israel. But as I age and item on the visa application is sex. Now, most people take a pause for sex or after sex, but I'm going to take one now before it.